are seeing in Western Europe and in the United States the impact of the globalist effort to shatter our cultures with mass illegal immigration from many places around the world that don't have a memory or a history of democracy, women's equality, and civil rights. And I am the daughter of an immigrant, the granddaughter of immigrants. I believe in legal immigration. This is not a racist thing I'm saying, but you can't have a democracy with open borders. You can't have a democracy in which non-citizens, flood into the country against the laws. You can't. It's not possible by definition. And you can't have a culture if the people are coming in from so many different places so quickly that they can't get acculturated to what it means to be American or what it means to be British or what it means to be French. And that is, again, not a racist thing to say. Cultures are precious, right? And Western cultures are also precious. I'm not saying they're, better in every way than every other culture, but liberty, democracy, human rights, these took centuries to develop as a social consensus in the West. And intentionally, the globalists are flooding my country and your country with people from Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, no history or memory of democracy. And these injections are killing and disabling the people who do have those memories, so that, as Ed Dowd says, who's bringing forth these data sets of people being disabled and dying, wait 5 years. And you're going to have a completely different demographic with a different institutional memory in Western Europe and North America, in which the globalists can just roll out their neo-feudalism, because the people who remember democracy, freedom of speech, human rights, women's rights, equality, accountability, transparency will be gone or too sick to fight. All right, so in America, what this goes to is nationalism, right? And in Western Europe as well. We've been taught, especially people like you and me who lived on the adorable left, we've been taught that nationalism is a dirty word and that you shouldn't love your country and you shouldn't say, being British is great or being American is great. But that was a trick. Nationalism can be very, very beautiful. It can also be turned to negative ends, of course, like anything. But there is a resurgence of patriotism and nationalism in America. And our founding fathers did say, don't get enmeshed in foreign wars. Take care of yourselves first. Don't become the world's police, essentially. So absolutely, we're looking in the US at 12 to 16 million people having illegally come in over our borders. They're mostly fighting age men. They're mostly being positioned in staging areas around the country in group housing, given every kind of support and benefit. And we're really worried about this being a military operation, right? And same thing is happening in Western Europe. And we're looking at our veterans waiting 6 months to get an appointment for PTSD. We're looking at our own kids having pathetic educational opportunities, joblessness. And we're really thinking, okay, enough of this. I mean, that's why Trump is doing so well. We're going to take care of ourselves. We're going to close our borders. We're going to look after our own people. It's not our war, right? We have our own war to fight at home. And I think that's happening in Western Europe as well. And it's the rise of the right-wing parties. But if the alternative to the right-wing parties is kind of the EU suspending all of your autonomy and rights as subject people with no accountability, which turns out is what the EU is all about, unelected diplomats deciding what happens in your country, and you get no say in your community, no say, no real democracy at all. I'm not surprised that right-wing nationalist entities are rising up, and a lot of them are making a lot of sense.